Alright, welcome back to Packet Tracer. My name's Aaron Strasser. This is 5.3.7.2, and we will be configuring a Cisco router as a DHCP server. So we will get this server set up, get this router set up as a DHCP server so that it will assign IP addresses to all of the customers' devices so that they will be able to gain internet access. The DHCP pool that we will use will be the 192.168.1.0/24 network, but the first 49 addresses are excluded, and the default gateway and DNS server also need to be configured as 192.168.1.1 and 192.168.1.10. Alright, so let's get started first configuring the DHCP service. So from the customer workstation we need to use a console cable to connect to the router. So we'll go down here, pick up the blue console cable into the serial port here, to the console cable right there. And then once we do that, we can come into the desktop and get in the terminal and have access to that router. So we want to get in all the way into global configuration mode. Password is Cisco both times. Configure terminal will get us in there. And then we will configure the DHCP. So to do that, you just type IP DHCP. We can go ahead and exclude those. Exclude dash address. So this is what it said in the beginning, that we needed to exclude some addresses. So what it is the beginning and the end here. So the first one, 1.1, is the starting point, and 1.49 is the ending point. So everything between those two addresses and everything between are excluded, so they will not be assigned to the devices. And so we will get started making the pool. DHCP pool poop, and we will name it pool 1, and we move into the DHCP config, so we can define the network address range. To do that, you just simply type network, so that's the bottom of the network, and it go in one space, and then your subnet mask. And then we need to define the DNS server. So to do that, DNS server 192.168.1.10, and then we need to have a default gateway so they can connect to the internet. So to do that, it is default router 192.168.1.1. And do an end to get out of there. So let's see. So we get out of the terminal. So from the customer workstation, we're going to open the command prompt here, and we will do an ipconfig release and an ipconfig renew. So there you go. It has distributed a IP address to the PC. So we should be able to ping the router. As you know, we're connected through the console, but now that we have got a DHCP address, we should be able to ping the router. Let's check the router, which will be the default gateway 192.168.1.1. So that all looks good. Everything made it. 0% loss. So that is successfully configured for DHCP. So a couple questions. What is the purpose of DHCP? I mentioned that it's just to assign IP addresses to all the devices that are connected to that router. What IP address is assigned to the workstation after its IP address is renewed? We got the 192.168.1.50, and we got that because the first 49 were excluded, so that was the first one available. And that about wraps it up for this activity. Thank you very much.